I don't understand what you're
Que
saying.
no puede estar sentado ahí.
No what?
No puede estar aquí. No feel.
I can't sit here? All right, I gotta end the video because I can't sit here. We're gonna leave. Say hi.
Hi.
Coach Greg, and I'm here in Mexico, and I had a number of requests to talk about Kai Greene. People are saying he's melting away, that he's given up on bodybuilding, that he's lost his muscle, that he's shrinking, and that what's going on? And so I'm like, all right, well, let's see. So I'm looking through all his pictures, and I'm thinking, what is wrong with people? They call that melting? He's literally bigger than 90% of IFBB pros right now. The pros, the best in the world. He's still bigger than most people, yet people are saying he's melting. He's still 250 plus pounds of muscle. He's got 50 pounds more muscle than I've ever had in my entire life, and people are saying he's small, he's losing his muscle, he's losing his size. Why? Because he doesn't look 300 pounds? He's still ridiculously massive. If you saw him in person, you'd see him and you'd say, what in the world is going on? How can anyone get that big? But yet people are saying he's losing his size. This is what's up. You can't take PEDs forever all the time. Your body needs a break. Whether it's going completely off and doing a PCT or HRT. And yeah, HRT helps you build muscle. But guess what? Not as much as being on everything. If you're on full on everything, test, trend, DECA, all of it, you're gonna have a lot more muscle than if you're on 100 milligrams of test a week, or like me, 140 milligrams. If I wanted to get a lot bigger, I could do a cycle. I would get way bigger, a lot bigger than right now. No, I'm not natural, but I have more muscle than I would be if I was natural, but not as much as if I was on everything. So he's smart. He's taken a break to give his body a rest. Perhaps he went to the doctor and said, hey, can you check me out? And they took his blood pressure, measured his cholesterol, his liver enzymes, and said, you need to relax a little bit. You need to take a break. So he's being smart. He doesn't want to die at 50, okay? He's in his 40s, and so he needs some time off to get, like, better, to get healthy. Everyone's seen what's going on with bodybuilders lately, and it's not healthy. And so it's smart. And so if you go off cycle, whether it's for 3 or 4 months or you go on HRT for 6 months, who knows how long, you're going to lose some muscle. You're going to lose some of that volume in the muscle. It's not going to look as swollen, as full. Your veins aren't going to pop out as much, and so on. Doesn't mean you're melting away. And so the fact that people are actually saying you're melting away, he's shrinking, he's giving it up, that's horrible. Let's say 99.999% of people are smaller than him. And so when you talk about somebody that big and you say, oh, look at them, they're getting smaller, how does that make the rest of us feel? I look at Kai Greene and I think, how in the world does anyone have that much muscle? Like, if I'd never seen him ever in my life and I was just presented this guy, I'd be like, what in the world? He's on everything. There's no way anyone can get that big. But yet people are criticizing his size. Imagine the body dysmorphia, the mental gymnastics that are going around with people looking at guys like that and thinking they're small. He's so big, he's not small in the slightest. And so do I think he's given up on bodybuilding? Do I think that he's just throwing in the towel, he's downsizing, he's just had enough? No, he's just taking a break. Doesn't mean he'll never take anything ever again. I'm sure if he was giving up or throwing in the towel, he would be making a video saying, hey guys, you know, health comes first. And you know Kai Greene, he would probably talk for 25 minutes about sunshine and rainbows and random anything, and then finally say, yeah, I'm taking a break because of that. But he hasn't done that. And if he hasn't done that, I don't think that he's just given up on bodybuilding, giving up on training, giving up on the muscle. He still looks ridiculous. Look at the size of his arms. His arms alone look insane. His quads, all of them, he's still insanely massive. And maybe he's gone up a couple of points of body fat percentage and now we're judging him. What is that to do to everyone else? People are looking at guys like Tristan Lee coming out and saying, you know, I've struggled with being 4% body fat for this long, helping so many people, explaining the troubles, the dangers. And you see a guy like Kai Greene, you think it's any easier? Just because Kai Greene is a professional bodybuilder and has over 250 pounds of muscle doesn't mean he doesn't struggle to stay lean. Doesn't mean he doesn't need a break. And so if it's that much pressure and people are criticizing him with all that fame, muscle, and size and saying, oh, what happened to you? Imagine the pressure to always look a certain way. Just because you're a professional bodybuilder doesn't mean that the comments don't hurt you. Just because you're famous doesn't mean you're not a normal person. Everyone thinks the same. Whether you have 1,000 followers or 1 million or 100 million, you're still a human being. And it doesn't feel good for everyone to say, you look small, you're getting fat, look at you. And it's like you're comparing him to when he's a 5% body fat freak of nature. Let's say he's up to 9%, is it really bad? Let's say he's lost 25 pounds of muscle. Is that really bad? Is that downsizing? Or is it taking a break for his health because he's smart? He wants to be here for a long time. Maybe he'll do lower doses in the future, but he's not downsizing. And so I was surprised how many requests. I got some requests and I was like, oh, it's not a story. It's not that big news. Keep getting more requests. And I'm like, why are people requesting all this? Then I saw Nick Strength and Power and Nick Trilogy. They both did videos on this. So I think people are watching these videos and say, well, I want your opinion, Coach Greg. What do you think about this whole thing? Well, my opinion is I think he's being smart. I think he's taking a break. I think he's concerned for his health. I don't think he's just given up and gone 100% natural and he's throwing in the towel and he's going to downsize to under 200 pounds. But you got to consider this dude is a beast. He's still massive. And if he was to do an IFBB Pro show right now, compete in 3 or 4 months, he would probably win. He wouldn't win the Arnolds, he wouldn't win the Olympia, but I bet he would win most professional bodybuilding shows and certainly qualify for the Olympia. He hasn't competed in years, but he looks like he could step on stage at any time, 3 or 4 months, and boom, he's on stage competing. Look at Chris Bumstead. Chris Bumstead is a 3-time Mr. Olympia, and what? He said he lost 30 pounds of muscle recently. 30 pounds! He's got like 8 months to get it back on. He's gonna win his 4th title, we already know it. And yet he's downsized. Does that mean Chris has given up? No, he took a break. When you compete in an IFBB Pro show and you're at the top level, you're not natural. No one's winning the Olympia title natural. Now, the smart people, when the show is over, they take a break for their health so that they can keep doing it. Maybe they don't want to die by the time they're 30. So part of the year they're on, and then after that they take a break. They're being smart. They're playing it safe. So if Chris can lose 30 pounds of muscle and still come back and win the Olympia title for the 4th time, I'm sure Kai Greene can lose 30 pounds of muscle and get it back whenever he wants. And perhaps if he didn't take that break, then he'd be in danger. Then he wouldn't be able to do it. Imagine if he keeps pushing. You go to the doctor, you get your blood work, and so many people don't want to know because ignorance is bliss. You get the blood work done. Oh, it's looking bad. It's looking bad. You know, I'm just going to keep going. Happens all the time. I coach so many people that have done this. They don't listen. Heart attack. Then what? How much muscle are you building when you have a heart attack and you can't train? So rather than that, you be smart, you get your blood work done and listen to it. Don't just get the blood work. You actually have to do something. When you get the blood work back and it looks bad, you make changes. You go off, recover, feel better, and then later you can go back on. Not telling you all to go back on and not telling you to do all these things. I'm not a doctor. You know, obviously you should listen to your doctor. And so if you do decide to go off, which you should, everyone should be going off. Anyone listening to this, if you're on cycle for 3, 4, 5, 6 months, you need a break. When you go on a break, expect to lose muscle. And it sucks. Think of it. If people are criticizing Kai Greene, they're going to criticize you. People are going to comment. They're looking to lower you. You have all this muscle and they don't. They want to put you down. The minute you lose some muscle, 10 pounds, oh, look at that. They've lost the size. Oh, and they're just going to start pointing and making fun of you. Now, what can you do about it? Not much. You have to accept it. If you are off cycle, you should do a PCT. There's things you can take to help. For example, you could take turkesterone. It's not as strong as steroids. So if you're on steroids or SARMs and you stop them, you're probably still gonna, let's be honest, if you're on a steroid cycle and you stop and you add turkesterone, you're still gonna lose muscle. You're not going to keep all of it. Imagine Kai Greene is, say he's 280 pounds of muscle and he goes natural and he takes turkesterone. He's not going to remain at 280. It would be ridiculous. But perhaps instead of losing 30 pounds, you only lose 20. You keep 10 extra. Is that not worth it? And so I know different people who have decided to go natural. For example, IFBB Pro, Johnny Shreve, Mr. Tell It Like It Is. He was doing a cycle for his last pro show. He went off everything, didn't even do a PCT. He's on turkesterone and feeling great. Seen him the other day, he feels amazing. Ask him, how you doing? Are you still on? Nothing? Nope, nothing. Not even HRT, nothing at all. Not even a PCT. I would have done a PCT and taken turkesterone with it. He's doing nothing. Cares about his health and he's like, it's working. I feel great. And I've seen so many people commenting. Just read the freaking comments, check out the videos. If you're looking for something natural that can help, not as much as testosterone, not as much as SARMs, but obviously way healthier. And so if you are abusing these things, perhaps abuse them less. If you can take turkesterone and use less steroids and less SARMs in the year, it's going to help you out. If you're using steroids for 12 months of the year and you only use it for 6, you're obviously healthier. You're better off. Doesn't mean you're perfect. Obviously, you shouldn't do any of it. But if you're going to do less of it, less is more. And so there are my thoughts on Kai Greene. I think he's just taking a break, being smart about his health, same as Chris Bumstead. And I would suggest get the turkesterone when you're off of everything. It's certainly going to help. It's not just turkesterone. You can use creatine, obviously, beta-alanine, L-citrulline. There's lots of supplements that can work. Don't abuse anything. Be safe. Get your blood work done. And don't just get it done. Actually listen to them when they tell you what to do about it. Be safe, be healthy, be smart. Hi.
No puede ser uso de los camastros.
I don't understand what you're saying.
No puede estar sentado ahí.
No what?
No puede estar aquí. No feel.
I can't sit here? All right, I gotta end the video because I can't sit here. We're gonna leave. Say hi.
Hi.
All right. And so I'm on my way back here. Apparently I'm not allowed to sit here. I don't know why I can't. It doesn't seem that serious, but yeah. Oh, and so watch the bloops, the 2 videos over there. Watch the top one, maybe the bottom one after. Also, don't forget to purchase Harder Than Last Time supplements by clicking the link in the description, including turkesterone and the others. Go check out my website, get whatever you need. And until next time, I am out.